So this is actually insane. That is Blade. Oh, yeah. He's going to be the next hero in the game, almost certainly. Because I think what's going to happen here is once Dracula is defeated, Blade is going to be released from this prison, and then he'll be playable. And we expect him to be a duelist character as well, which comes as no surprise. But this is insane. So if you look at this, it's like it's not really a secret area, but it's like a prison inside the Central Park map. Now, if you look at the top of the screen, I'm actually on point 2. So when you're on attack and you capture the second point, when you get eliminated, you'll actually respawn in this prison. And you can see Blade is kind of trapped by these, I don't know, this demonic Dracula rune magic, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, insane. But I guess what's going to happen here is as soon as Dracula is defeated, probably at the end of the season, because Dracula is at the end of this map as well, and you basically defeat him by completing the map. I'd assume Blade breaks out. Maybe Blade kills Dracula. I don't know. But Blade's going to definitely break out as soon as Dracula has been defeated and then most likely become the new hero. I mean, you can see how far along his model is as well. Like, look at the detail on this. It's actually insane. Like, it's insane. And I really, really, really love this kind of environmental storytelling. Obviously, Overwatch did a bit of this in the past, but never to this extent. This is really cool. I really, really like this. Let me know what you think about this, guys, in the comments below. But yeah, we're going to move on to some other topics right now. But I just wanted to show you guys this. I think it's actually, it's awesome. I love this kind of stuff. Inside Squirrel Girl's treehouse for the attacker's first spawn, there's also another Blade Tease. You can see him there with his samurai sword. He looks, well, actually, that's not a samurai sword, is it? That's like some massive sword. He looks insane. But yeah, cool little teaser on this little board game. Check this out as well. This is a render of Blade taken from the game files. And yeah, I mean, look, he looks actually insane. Like, the character design in this game, the art direction is awesome. Blade looks amazing. If you showed me a picture of this character, I would know it was Blade. I'd go, that's Blade. I mean, Blade is one of my favorite. Like, I absolutely love the original Blade. I had that on videotape. I'm literally that old. And I used to watch it back over and over again. I loved it. The special effects were amazing. Well, at least to me when I was a kid. And probably my parents shouldn't have been letting me to watch it, but whatever, they did. And I love you, Mom and Dad. So, I mean, yeah, this is not great, guys. It's obvious this is terrible. And to be honest, a lot of the Lord icons are not that great anyway. Basically, it was worked out that what most of them are from the MVP animations. It's the final screenshot of the MVP, the standard MVP for each hero. It is basically what the Lord icon is in almost every case. But this one's kind of taking the piss because it's literally just they've, like, what? Flipped him horizontal and added a bit more flame around the bottom of him. This is not great. This doesn't look like anything to, you know, grind towards. So, yeah, I think these Lord icons need a complete overhaul because most of them are just not great anyway. In fact, in a lot of cases, the standard icon looks better, which I don't think should be the case. But yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments, which one is the worst Lord icon in your opinion. So check this out from VGC. Marvel Rivals has passed 40 million players as NetEase reports net revenue of $2.9 billion. Now, that isn't for Marvel Rivals, right? If Marvel Rivals made $2.9 billion, that'd be frankly absolutely ludicrous. It has not made that money. That's for the entire company of NetEase in their quarterly report. Because, of course, they're a publicly traded company, so they have to disclose this information. So that's pretty cool on the face of it. But remember what recently happened with the American development team being fired. So check this out. This is over on Games Radar, and they say, days after dev layoffs, NetEase confirms Marvel Rivals has surpassed 40 million players, celebrates the company delivering groundbreaking gaming experiences. NetEase says its new hit titles have set new industry benchmarks. So this is all well and good, isn't it? Like, the game is killing it. It's got a massive player base. It's growing. It's delivering content. It's doing everything it needs to do in the live gaming sort of space because it's delivering loads of content, loads of new heroes. The game seems to have, like, constant hype. I always feel excited to jump onto the game and excited to check out the news and excited to see what's coming to the game. And that's really good and that's awesome. So then why did they get rid of the American arm of the development team? Now, there was a bit of confusion here because originally a lot of stuff was going around saying, like, okay, it's the game director. And in some ways... it kind of was the game director, but it was the American game director, not the actual game's creative director, who was running the team over in China. So there's a lot of issues here. And I think ultimately it was 6 people that were laid off, let go by NetEase. It may be more than that now, but I think originally it was reported 6 people who were part of the Seattle NetEase proxy company that had been set up. So what the hell are NetEase saying about that? Well, they've actually released a statement. So this is taken from The Verge, but this is the statement from NetEase. We recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rivals' development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game, wrote Alex Armour, a PR representative from NetEase Games. This resulted in a reduction of a design team based in Seattle that is part of a larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. The statement continued by reassuring fans that development on Rivals would continue with a core group of developers based in China. We are investing more, not less, into the evolution and growth of this game. So, yeah, I mean, they are invested in the game, but surely if your game makes a ton of money and is wildly successful, why would you then get rid of 6, 7, 8, 9 people or so over in the States who were essentially coming up with new game features, were coming up with technical advice? They were acting as sort of like, I think they were acting in a quality assurance capacity as well. They were almost like a think tank for the game, right? They were coming up with features. They were just, I guess, like a consultancy in a way, but they were inside NetEase. They were working with the game. So if those people were integral to coming up with the ideas that have laid the groundwork, the foundations for what your development team over in China have actually done, why would you get rid of them unless you think they're no longer needed because they've done all of the groundwork, you've got all of the results, and then you can just sort of, I don't know, push forward with your own in-house team? But to me, it just seems like, yeah, I know these big companies, they're all about cost cutting, they're all about reducing costs wherever they can. Just seems insane to me, though. If your game is wildly popular, then you get fired. It makes no sense at all. The Verge article then goes on to say this. According to a report in VentureBeat, organizational streamlining doesn't give the full picture of what's going on, with sources claiming the real reason for the layoffs is that NetEase executives are no longer confident in overseas development teams. The success of Black Myth Wukong has apparently proven to NetEase that blockbuster hits can be made cheaper and closer to home without the need for expensive overseas teams in Europe and America. In a statement to VentureBeat, NetEase denied claims that it intends to retreat from overseas development and that the layoffs in Seattle only represent a small portion of its holdings abroad. Our studios in North America, UK, Spain and Japan all continue to refine and develop their ongoing game projects. NetEase declined to detail the exact scope of the Seattle layoffs, which come just 2 months after Marvel Rivals launched to rapid critical and financial success, with reports estimating that it raised over $130 million in revenue in its first month. So I'm going to be honest here, guys. I still think this is bonkers that they've got rid of these guys over in the States. I know they were expensive, but it was only a little team. But from what I understand, they were basically technical advisors that were coming up with features, coming up with mechanics and all kinds of stuff that then, I guess, was pushed over to China. And then China, the development teams over there, started working on the content, putting it all together and developing it into the game. So I do think from a big picture perspective, we're not going to see a reduction in content coming to the game because these people have been let go. It's not great they've been let go because, as we know, the game's been wildly successful. And also, it's really bad PR. Like, this is another thing. There's a lot of ways of looking at this. Firstly, obviously, these guys provided a lot of value because the game was very successful. Secondly, there's not that many of them, so it can't be that expensive. I know it's more than just going, oh, what are the salaries of these people? We have to pay them every year. It's a lot more than that, you know. They've obviously got facilities they work from, you know, all kinds of additional stuff that needs to be paid for. So it's expensive, I get that. But, like, if you're wildly successful, you want to keep that good wave of energy around your game going, right? Because in every other way, this game is killing it. Like, the way the game plays, it's fun, the way it's adding new content, the way it's just done all of these, like, reveals for the new heroes. All of it's really fun, right? And yet, it's just like, oh no, we've just fired the game director, which, like I said, isn't what we perceive to be the game director. It isn't the person in charge of the game leading development, but it was the director of the game's North American division that was coming up with technical features for the game. So it is a bit more complicated than we first thought, but it's still kind of a bit of a crappy situation. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff in the comments below, because I think there'll be some pretty good comments here. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and remember, you can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, and also like the video if it helps a lot. Well, it does help a lot. It helps me a lot, I suppose. If you want to do it, it's up to you, whatever. And sub to the channel and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you soon.